Here I am. Here I am. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of Philosophonics. So glad to have you all here tonight. I just appeared in the ether just like that, just came into being. So, yeah, glad to have you, like I said, and I'm very excited tonight to dive a little bit into something that we talked about last week that really has been an eye-opening connection for me, which is piezoelectric things. And I am saying it like that. I have decided piezo because it feels right rather than piezo. It just feels more appropriate. So piezo is how I will say it from now on. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great evening. It is rainy here in Lubbock, Texas, but no worries. I don't think there's enough lightning for me to get electrocuted and all my gear to fry. So, if so, I do have a power conditioner and, yeah. So I'm going to do it just like normal, you guys. Start off with some originals for you all, then into the chat, and then a couple covers, and we'll end it out with a meditation. So sit back, enjoy your takeout, you guys, Julie and Nate, and let's get into it. The three originals I'm going to play for you guys tonight are Adam, Efforts, and Breathe. Without a mind, but I need these feet to carry my eyes where they want to be, where they want to be, where they want to be. Without a face, would you see me? No, I'd see all the space between, without all the seams, without all the seams, without all the seams. bullshit I went through just to write this song for brother, won't you breathe for a minute? I'll give you some of my air. Sister, won't you sing me a story? 'Cause I got some listening to spare. I got some listening to spare. Boom. Chatty chat chat. All right, you guys, that was three original musics for you. Hope you all liked them. Just a little hodgepodge of emotion right there. You know, like I like it. So, as the title suggests tonight, it is Piezoelectric Ponderings. So first I'm going to start with a disclaimer. As I often do, I am not a scientist. I am not a mathematician. I'm not an expert on these topics. I strictly have tried to learn enough in the last 2 weeks to be able to sort of explain it to you all on a pretty not deep level, but one that applies to what I'm curious about and what we have been talking about here on Philosophonics, which is alternating matter essentially in the human body in a positive way with sound and music. All right, so first, to kind of set the stage for things, I need to discuss something that is called electronegativity. Okay, and I am just going to read the definition of electronegativity for you and then briefly comment on it to make sure that we all are on the same page with that. So here is the definition of electronegativity. The tendency for an atom of a given chemical element to attract shared electrons, or electron density, when forming a chemical bond. Okay, so what that basically means is, if you recall from science back in the day, how an atom is shaped, an element, is that in the middle is the nucleus, and then around it are the electrons. So in the nucleus, there are the protons of a certain number, the neutrons of a certain number, and then there are the rings. We'll call them more appropriately, it's like an onion, right? Like the layers of the onion of electrons in the outer shell part of the atom. So what this means is that sometimes some of those layers of the onion want more electrons in them. And if they want a lot more electrons to equal their magic number of that layer of the onion, then they are highly electronegative. Basically, they want to attract and bond more with the electrons that their homeboys have, their other atoms. So in a chemical bond, electronegativity is the word for that. Desire. Okay? Boom. That's all. And the higher the electronegativity, the more the atom will attract electrons. So the more it's like, hey, baby, hey, other atom, you want to bond with me? You want to get in my layers of the onion and my rings of electron and complete me? You complete me. I forget the numbers of the electrons, like the rings, how many each one wants, but it's kind of random if you really think about it. But yeah, that's how it is. So electronegativity. First important concept to understand, how much it wants to share electrons with the other atoms. Oh, yeah. No, I can finally reply to the chat tonight, so this is awesome. I'm seeing it, Julie. Um, Perfect. Yeah. No, it is dusting off cobwebs for me. And to be very, very honest, I did not pay good attention and get attention in chemistry. Because why? Because there was math involved. And so I kind of checked out. But at the beginning of it, I understood that part vaguely. So, yes, that is what's happening with electronegativity. All right. So, when those two want to join together, and when they do, there is some things that can happen. But one thing that happens is called a dipole. Dipole. And what that means is that, let's say you have an atom here and an atom here, and there is some sharing or some attraction or some repelling, some kind of connection going on in the middle here. It is basically two different charges happening, and that is the pole between them, right? So I have an explanation, a definition here as well, because I knew that my words would come out like a kindergartner. So dipole is a pair of equal and oppositely charged or magnetized poles separated by a distance. So you could have a positive and a negative right here attracting each other, The line is the dipole, right? The distance and that attraction. Okay, moving on, you guys. I'm doing my best at the science here tonight to divulge this in the way that I could understand it. All right. So a molecule in which a concentration of positive electric charge is separated from a concentration of negative charge, right? So it's how those two things are interacting, the positive and the negative charges of the atom. Okay, that's all that I really understand. And if you understand much deeper than this, educate me. I'll try and learn more as we go on. Okay, so now we will get to piezoelectric. So what is happening with piezoelectric is that these piezoelectric materials are sharing through a dipole, their electrons, right? And their field, their magnetic fields, electromagnetic fields. And due to the way that they are structured, which there is a great video that I'll put in the link when I repost the show to kind of like watch this. But there is a movement and there is a small electromagnetic field that is generated, actual voltage from the movement and the sharing of these two parts of the atom, right? So it's kind of like a shift back and forth. And that is what transfers the movement, the mechanical movement, essentially, into the voltage, right? And vice versa, the inverse effect can apply. So common things that you see, everyday things that have piezoelectric situations in them: intruder alarms, medical devices, specifically the use of ultrasound, pin pads, key fobs, alarm clocks, wristwatch alarms, like the ones that don't need the battery because your wrist moves and then it generates the voltage to keep the watch running. That's what's happening. And you guys can read along exercise equipment, computer motherboards, and those ultrasonic things. I also want to mention that is what your smartphone screen is doing as well. So it is already being used in many, many things. And in the medical field, a lot of those sensors, like in the sleep studies or just sensors that they put on your body, are actually monitoring via ultrasound and piezoelectric crystals in those. That's how they're working, and that's how they're showing, the voltage difference in the maps that they see. So this technology is already being used in many, many things, as you can see. And let me take the image down because I'm on my A game tonight. Okay. And also like the doctor's stethoscope, that's also using the same thing, piezoelectric. And in most of these devices, basically what happens is you have the sensor kind of thing, like whatever's moving. And then you have your piezoelectric material, often a crystal or a piece of quartz. And then behind that, you'll then have an amplifier of some sort for that electrical signal, because it can be very, very small. So that circuit is going to amplify that. And then sometimes a filter to get the desired results on whatever is coming out the other side. Okay, so like I said last week, I'll just go ahead into it. I was going to get to it in a minute. But there are not only man-made things, so we have man-made materials that are piezoelectric, but they are in a lot of nature. So some naturally occurring materials include berlinite, which is structured almost identical to quartz, cane sugar, quartz, Rochelle salt, topaz, tourmaline, bone. That's right, our bones, people. And let's see. Yes, there are the crystals in our brain, which are also piezoelectric. I put in all caps somewhere something that, oh yeah, okay. So I'm going all out of order tonight, but I hope this is making sense in some way, shape, or form. Please ask questions if not. So there's all these materials floating around naturally, including our own body. And I learned about the brain crystals, about the bones, but here's what I learned this week that is piezoelectric. Are you ready for it? MFDNA, y'all. DNA is made up of a bunch of various proteins, right? And in Wikipedia, it is cited that DNA is piezoelectric. Now, this for me was the next connection that needed to happen because what does that imply, right? So let's put these two things together. We have our bone structure, our brain, and our DNA that is susceptible to receiving the dipole situation, right? Like we can actually alter these atoms by using either inverse or the straightforward piezo applications. So to me, this means that as I keep studying, right, at some point, there's going to be the connection between, oh man, I wish I could toss up an image right now, because let me see if I can just throw it in real quick. Back to Plato's 2-to-1, right? And then me talking about last week that there is this bridge between sound waves and the electromagnetic field, which is the piezoelectric things, right? That's the bridge between them. So if we're talking about the harmonic overtone series, y'all, then we can start getting a real mathematic on this shiznits. I'm going to try and put this image in. Just give me 1 second. I should have done this earlier, but it's okay. I think it's this guy. Let's hope it is. Ah, beautiful. Okay. So if you'll go back to this image that I showed several episodes ago, this is the juxtaposition of acoustic and electromagnetic waves, right? So they're showing us sound and electromagnetics. All right. What this means is that if we can figure out, once we get up into the atomic structure area, which is somewhere, I think it's up around the ultrasonic area of atoms. I could be wrong right now because my chat is covering things. That means it does all connect, right? Are you hearing this? So if we can figure out the exact situation with the DNA structure, right? Like let's say where common DNA illnesses, like DNA related things come in. I'm pretty sure that cancer is one of those. There's a lot of stuff, right? That DNA pretty much is the pattern for everything. If we can figure out how to target those particular proteins, then with piezoelectric manipulation using sound, then we should be able to alter the structure of DNA in a calculated way, which is crazy to me. Like, there's no, to me, it's like this connected with this, connected with this. There's no denying it now. So now the work to be done is to figure out how to go about testing these theories, which is where I'm at. And Nate, I was talking about math tonight, right? So, yes, Julie, I know. That's what I'm freaking saying. Okay, let me take this image down. So here is where I need you guys' help, or somebody that's really good with math, is that we can see this formula right here. And this is basically the formula for how much voltage. So right now it's calculating for the voltage that will be produced from a piezoelectric situation. And as you can see, the different thicknesses, the permittivity, in the vacuum, the area of it, etc. So that's figuring for voltage. There is a way, and I know that it can be done because of ultrasonic devices, to rearrange this formula to answer for frequency. This is where my math is stuck at. This is where I am not so great with the math on how to rearrange this formula for frequency. But once we could rearrange this formula for frequency, then whatever frequency of the DNA that we are targeting, we could basically execute. And yeah, so that is essentially suggestive that not only can we change the DNA, we can also, if you'll recall back to our brainwaves topic, we can change and rewire brain synapses with this, with sound, and finding this formula, which I really just need help with math. That's where I'm at right now. And also, we can alter our electromagnetic field. We can increase our voltage, which already happens through the piezoelectric effect with exercise, right? But we can amplify essentially our brain waves, our voltage, and that sort of thing. So, yeah. Some statistics I have about cancer I wanted to mention specifically. When I learned this week, I was like, oh man, we on it, y'all. We on it, Philosophonics. 60% of DNA or of cancer is DNA gone awry, right? So it doesn't, so the other 40% is the things where they say, like, don't smoke, don't do these bad lifestyle things because it will cause cancer. So that accounts for 40% of cause of cancer. The other 60% is DNA gone awry, DNA malformation. So my philosophical ending to this chat tonight, which obviously I got work cut out for me on the mathematics side, because I just need to get where the frequency stuff is. Then we start testing it. Boom. Then we change a world together. Okay, I just lost my train of thought, and I'll just leave it at that. Oh, my philosophical question is, right, can we then cure the DNA using vibration and this electronic effect to rearrange the structure, the atomic structure of the DNA proteins? I think so. You guys. So now the next step for me, which will continue on this train next week, is to get down to business and really, really try and figure out, like, I know that with the Rife stuff, certain diseases, their frequencies have been identified, right? So the next step would be to figure out the math, plug in the numbers, and I saw how to create some type of device that could, honestly, I think headphones would do the trick. Or maybe we're going to have to put giant crystals on ourselves like the Egyptian people did. Anyways, I think that's enough philosophical things to think about, is that this is all really possible. This is all verifiable. And I'm sure somebody's already figured it out. But we are going to us laymen, me, random musician, we're going to get to the bottom of it in the next couple of weeks, I think, honestly. And then I've got to find some actual people willing to let me. I should probably just do it with myself, right? Maybe I can mess with my own DNA. I can CRISPR myself with sound. Uh, I don't even know what that entails, but yeah. I mean, like, could we reverse aging? Like, I know that there's certain parts of the DNA that have to do with aging. Like, there's octopuses that age in reverse. So, like, if we can change and understand the structure of this DNA and manipulate it, then it's just like whoosh, endless. Okay. Yeah, they're already doing it. But I think we can do it with sound. So that concludes. Yeah, I believe we could, Julie. I really, really do. And I think that this is getting less and less just like random ideas that I've had. And thanks to this show and me having to learn every week a little bit more, it's getting less and less frou-frou and more like, whoa, this could actually really be something that I can manifest. And that I'm sure many people are manifesting already. Okay. And it requires no big pharma and not a lot of money, and that would be really, really cool. So yeah, hope that progresses us a little bit. Like I said, I will put some links in the rebroadcast for those lovely videos that have a bunch of great images explaining the piezoelectric effect. There's another one that deals with sound, and it actually has the math of the frequencies. It's just a little, like I said, above my head. So I will try and to dive into that myself. Yeah, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to hit me up anytime, you guys. All right, I'm gonna play a couple covers for you all. Yeah, this is a really short episode this week, but really it's because I don't know a lot about these things and I can't go very deep into them at the moment. So I'm not gonna lie to you and BS with more than I actually have come across. But just those couple of things I mentioned tonight are enough in my book to say keep going in this direction, and some pretty cool things are on the horizons. All right, here's some of my favorite songs. And then we'll end it out with meditation. And yeah, as I learn more, as I'm able to process this, we'll just keep on it. So yeah, love you guys and hope you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your week. Y'all are the best. The best. The bomb. Now's the time this evening where we turn inward. To the space inside. With mysteries just as great as those outside of us. Our own bodies are magnificent systems. They are their own universes with their own cycles, the birth and death of cells, the rearranging of atoms every moment. Let your eyes gently close. Take a deep breath into your stomach and let it out. In your mind's eye, try if you can see on the atomic level the movement in your body, the cells, and the parts inside the cells, each with their own intelligence. Doing what they were meant to do, working in harmony with the fields around them. Imagine this divine design and all its sacred beauty. Know that together, this beautiful symphony is you. Your presence completely saturates and is inside each of these small moving parts. Send them all love. Send them gratitude. Thank them for their mystery and their majesty. Feel your heart. Feel its electricity. Spreading out to your whole body. Feel the warmth of this energy. Bless it. We are all sacred beings, full of mystery and divine intelligence. Open your